Come on, let's go. Oh, today's another one of those cold days. Luckily today, I remembered to warm the car up using the app. There we go, excuse me. Another nice, if rather chilly day. Brilliant. Looks like that charge port door sticking problem is not reoccurring, so far today has not gone to plan. And it's entirely my own fault. I know there is nobody or nothing else that I can blame. Basically, I went to sleep. I lay down, I thought I'll just have a 5-minute rest, zonk, gone. Bye-bye almost the entire day. Oh well, I'm going to pick up Jasper in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to finish this caffeinated coffee, which will hopefully help to wake me up a bit. Oh, and it's nice weather as well. We're going outside. We're going to go somewhere. I don't know where, but we are. I don't know where we're going to go. We'll do some scootering or something. And then I'm going to talk to you about the Porsche Mission E and how I think that relates to one of the best decisions that Tesla ever made.
And lots of playgrounds and lots of TVs.
Lots of TVs. I don't think they have TVs at the park. Okay, I'm just going to go do some scooting with him, I think. I need to get out the house apart from anything, and I think so does he. What is the thing that I think Tesla does best? Well, obviously they make awesome cars, and they're building a great big business that I think has the potential to absolutely transform the automotive industry. However, I think the best thing they ever did really was deciding that they should start at the top, and by that I mean the sort of premium end of things, and build a really truly desirable electric car, because that's what was missing. It enabled them to build a compelling EV that would actually convince people that this might be a positive future, positive change for cars rather than a negative change. And I think that's where Porsche with their Mission E are doing something a bit similar. They certainly seem to be giving it quite a lot of focus at the moment, which is good. Do I think that'll last? I think it probably will, because I think what they're trying to do is similarly to Tesla. They're trying to build an architecture and build a hype in their brand around the kind of vehicles that hopefully will be coming in the sort of the next generation. So it'll start with the Porsche Mission E, the technology from that will flow into other Porsches quite possibly, but ultimately in a similar architecture will wind up being employed across the board in Audi, probably before VW. I think VW is probably working a bit more from the ground up. I think generally it's a better strategy to start premium and then work towards the mass market, rather than to start in the mass market and work upwards. And that, I think, was a brilliant piece of decision making from Tesla. When they decided to do that, I think what they really did was give themselves an opportunity, and because they're so far ahead of most of their competitors at this stage, I think there's probably a pretty decent chance they're going to wind up being a huge business. I just think there's more to it than just let's build an automotive manufacturer. I mean, people have been trying to set up automakers for decades, and almost always they've been met with failure because it's really, really hard. It's a very capital intensive business to set up. It takes a lot of investment, a lot of time and development, and ultimately success is no way guaranteed. So yeah, hopefully Porsche and the rest of the Audi, VW, Porsche group are working in that direction. Start at the top and work down. Because ultimately, I don't think EVs should be a compromise. I think if you make a compromise vehicle, then your market is always going to be very limited. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the Renault Zoe 41 kilowatt hour version, because to my mind, I think it probably isn't a compromise. I think it might actually be a vehicle that can really genuinely be used as a long-term main family car. Because EVs were never going to really be successful if they were always relegated to the second car. You know, the sort of the local runaround. I mean, yeah, there would be a market for that, sure. But people like flexibility and they're willing to pay for flexibility. And I think the absence of that flexibility was more or less a guarantee of failure with the smaller batteried EVs. Not failure in their niche. You know, as niche products, they do fine. But in the wider marketplace, it was always going to be tricky. And of course, the problem was, because they're building something with a very limited budget available, because it's mass market, quote unquote, it means that they have no choice but to limit the range and the size of the battery, because otherwise they would just lose a huge amount of money on every one. Which again comes back to the whole start at the premium end. You start at the premium end, and then as the technology becomes commoditized and more battery manufacturers come online at scale, then what you wind up with is much cheaper batteries, which enable that mass market to still be a compelling, fully functional vehicle, but also be an EV. Okay, let's wake him up somehow. Jasper? Monkey, we're there. Ooh. He's in a deep sleep. Quite a nice view up here. Nice park. If only the sun was up. I think this is an open air swimming pool that's dry. That's what I think. Do you reckon? Either that or it's some sort of really unimaginative skate park. What do you think? Is it an unimaginative skate park or a swimming pool?
A skate park. What that is called?
I think it used to be a swimming pool, but it's got no water in it now, Jasper. Hey Jazzy, did you have fun? Okay, we're gonna go grab some food. That was really hard work. Like, not the actual scooting once we got going, but getting him awake and functioning was so nearly impossible that I almost didn't bother doing it. We almost went straight home. Oh my word. Small children, when they're tired or they've just woken up. And on a slightly more positive note, I completely forgot to mention earlier how unbelievably beautiful the Porsche Mission E is. Sit here.
Whoa, we're having a... There's so fun.
Here we go. Yep, what happens, Mummy's away, and then it's all just good quality food from Mackie D's. I hope you've all enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it and share it and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. I don't know, it might be caffeine. It might be the fact that they just changed the clocks here, so now everything's an hour earlier, which is really inconvenient because it basically means that the sun goes down at 5 o'clock, just before 5. Whereas like literally last week, it went down at 6 o'clock.